Hello, and thank you for joining me for another Scrapbook Sunday 101, Rose Ward, stampersdelight.com. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. If you'd like to check out that scrapbooking mug that I have here or other stamping apparel, go to stampersdelightshop.com. We are going to get started. I just want to remind you that Donna Gray and I have the basics of card making class going on right now, and you can join at any time. This has been a lot of fun, and a lot of things we've gone over that we forget about as card makers. So whether you're new to card making or you've been doing it for a long time, let's get back to the fundamentals, and I think it'll really be worth it. We've had a great time, so think about joining that. Now, also, I want to remind everybody that today is June 1st. Can you believe it? So today is the last day to sign up for my June scrapbooking online class, which is, I'm using this Weekend Adventure scrapbook papers and the designer series paper that goes with it. This is the kit itself, but what you're going to get is the designer series paper and the sticker sheets. All the links will be below with all the information. Also, today's the last day to join my June online card class, and that is with this suite, which is the Florals in Bloom. You can join monthly or you can subscribe, and you'll save $5 a month. And at the end of 6 consecutive months, you'll get a $25 rewards from me. So you want to check that out. And let's see what else we have here. Today, what we're going to be working on is the scrapbooking Memories in Bloom, the scrapbooking kit, the whole workshop. And I'm also going to be incorporating the stamp set. And the last thing I have for you is my white on white with a pop of color. That's a new class that I'm offering online. And that is also a monthly class. So again, check out the links, click on the link and read all about it. And then you can also join there. So last Sunday, I started with the Memories in Bloom scrapbooking kit. And this gives you layouts for 3 different scrapbook pages, two page scrapbook layouts. And I used this layout here. I changed it a little bit, and I did these 2 pages. Now, one thing I love about these kits is you don't have to do a whole workshop on one element. Like that was from a family picture we had done in the, I think, 1989. But now what I'm going to do for the second part of this is I'm going to be using this layout, changing it up a little bit, and I'm going to be working on my niece's wedding reception. So let me bring that in. I'm going to bring in those pages. Again, you can do the pages the way they show, or you can change them up for your needs. Because I have different pictures, my layout's going to be a little bit different. So the first thing I want to do, let me just take these off, put those over there. I've got 2 pieces of the Willow White, and I need to move these pictures over here so I remember which way I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring in those 2 pieces of white, and I'm going to create a 2-page layout. Now, I'm going to bring this down a little bit. Hopefully you'll see everything. I've already cut some of these pieces that came with the kit. So this is the designer series paper, and as beautiful as that is, I'm going to use the green side. I've also taken the 2-tone cardstock. I do have a 2-tone cardstock paper share going on right now, and it is a game changer for scrapbooking or card making. So what I did with this, I took the darker side of the Petunia Pop and I embossed that, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then I took 2 more strips. So let's do that first. I'm going to bring in Everything's kind of buried over here. Somewhere is my embossing folder. Maybe I left that on the other table. Let's just take a peek here. I must have left that on the other table. Well, we're going to have to get that because I definitely want to show you that. Oh, nope, it's right where it's supposed to be on my die cutting machine. So let's start with that. So I'm going to take this strip, and these strips I cut at 2 by 12 inches. I'm going to bring in my die cutting machine and this flowered embossing folder, which is from the Cheers and Sips suite. I'm then going to run that through my die cutting machine and emboss that. And then I want to get the other end, so I'm going to flip it around and do the other side. So you can see that beautiful embossed image. And then I'm just going to put this right back in here. And I'm going to do it again on the other side. Now the thing with the two-tone paper cardstock, it has dark on one side, light on the other, and it has a white center to it. So you can distress this, and it gives a really nice look to it. So here's what it looks like. And then I'm just going to take this, it's a nail file buffer, and I'm just going to add some, get some of that white. Look how nice that looks. Really makes it pop. This is something we'll be doing with the white on white cards with a pop of color. Okay, so now I have those two strips. I'm going to go ahead and I am going to layer this down first. So each week I will be showing you a little bit more of my, oh boy, where's my glue? Probably on the other table, right? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, I can see it from here. Let me grab that. So the reason I do it this way is each week you'll see, like for this, you're going to see me start out and then you get to see the whole scrapbook put together. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to lay that right in the center here. So this is 6 by 12. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. And I'm just going to put those together and line that up. Okay, so that one was a little bit shy of that, but it'll still work. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's all about the memory. So let's see if I can lift this up. I really don't want to lift that up and mess it up, so I'm just going to flip it over and just trim that little piece off. Remember, these are your pages, so the only person that really has to be happy with them is you. Okay, so now I have those two. Now I'm going to grab this strip here and this strip, and I am going to layer those on each side just like that. Again, using my Stamp and Seal. You can use whichever adhesive you want. I'm going to go ahead and add that right there. I'm going to take this pretty piece. I don't recommend you gluing on top of your project. I'm doing that so it's in camera view. I'm going to leave just a little white there. There we go. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Again, I'm eyeballing it just to leave a little bit of white on each side. This strip here is 1 3/4 by 12. And I'm going to add that right there. So that's the start of it. Now I'm going to bring in my pictures, which I've already mounted on to my black cardstock, my black two-tone cardstock. And I'm going to do these this way. So that's my mom. She was the flower granny. And there is my sister being walked down the aisle. And there is my niece being walked down the aisle by her son, Nick. And there is her other child, Bubba. Nicknamed Bubba a long time ago. So those pictures are going to go right about here. Now I need to leave a space up there and you'll see why. And then here is a picture. My niece always wanted my dad to walk her down the aisle. And of course he's not here. He wasn't here to do that. He passed away. So she had him on her bouquet. So I want that there too. But I need to have enough room to put the words that I want to use. So what I did was I cut out her name. I'm just going to layer this here so you can see it. Again, this is in the two-tone cardstock. And let me show you how I did that. We have these new dies that I absolutely love. We have two other alphabet dies, the mini ones and the alphabet a la mode, but look how large these are. They're great. Oh my gosh, they're so great. So these are our new party alphabet dies. And what I did was I cut them all out, and then you can see I did emboss them with that same embossing folder. I'm not going to distress those though. So I want to make sure I have enough room before I lay my pictures down. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some dimensionals. Even though this is going to be in a page protector, I want this to be popped up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add those. Again, each week I'll do a little bit and then you'll see the finished project. So we're going to put that there. I've already embossed all these, not distressing these as I did over there. You could. And I do that's why I'm putting the dimensionals on it, because I do want a little dimension on this. I think one would be enough on here. Again, it's going into a page protector, so we're going to put that right there. And then here is the dot for the eye. I didn't emboss that. Thank you to everyone who has said that they love my scrapbook Sundays. I will continue with those. Not only does it give you ideas and inspiration, I hope, it helps me get my pictures done. And then I have the and sign. So let's add that. Sometimes you need a large alphabet to take up some room. I'm going to put that right there. On this side, I'm going to put Stephen's name. And I'm going to put that down here. Again, using the dimensionals. I'm using my Take Your Pick tool. I use that all the time for my dimensionals. It's easy to pull them off using the Take Your Pick tool. So again, these workshop scrapbook kits, you can use the directions they give or just make your own. I think some of the E's I did backwards, but that's okay. flowers are going the other way. I'm going to put Stephen's name here. Now, if you want to get these exactly straight, you can use a ruler. I don't necessarily do that. I eyeball a lot of things. And then the N. Put that right there. So now that I have the words on there, I have the room to put my pictures. This one I did not mat because I kind of just want that hanging out there. We're going to put my mom up here and my sister over here. And then I want this picture how I can do that. I want it up a little higher, I think. I'm going to cut out some of that. Yeah, I think I'll do it this way. Okay, so let me start down here. I don't want that going off the page, but I want this piece right next to where she's walking down the aisle. So let's put that one down first. And then I don't need this part, so I'm putting that right over there. And then I'll grab this one of my mom and my nephew. And my sister. So there, it flows just the way I want it. With just a little bit of that peeking out. The next page, I'm going to bring in some of the things that they had at the wedding. So this is their wedding cake. There is bride and groom. That's actually from my parents' table when they got married. I also had it at my table when I got married, and now my niece used it at hers. So we are going to use this, and that's the little honey that they gave. And we need to have this picture so the whole thing is showing. So I will have to move those around a little bit. Let's see, I think I'll put this over here. There we go. I wanted to have room for everything. So this picture, I want the whole thing to show. So I am going to put that one right there. And again, this one's going to go right here. So what I'm going to do to make sure it fits is I'm going to bring that down over here. And then this one can go right here. Okay, so there. Now I'm not done because I have to put some embellishments on it yet. But there's the first two pages. Now I'm going to bring in 2 more pieces of willow white. And some more pictures that I have. I lay this out before I start, but then again, I always end up changing it. So let's just move these out of the way. And let's grab the next 2 pieces. So here I have 2 more pieces. Now again, I'm taking that designer series paper from the kit. And then I have some more of the designer series paper here. And for this one, I'm going to lay that down on each side. A lot of times I try to get as many pictures on a page as possible, but sometimes you just want special ones on there. I'm going to go ahead and do this. And on the other side, I'll do the same thing. These strips. Again, this is 2 inches, and the flowered one is 1 3/4. So 2 inches by 12, and then 1 3/4 by 12. Whoop. So that would be my next page. Now I have these pieces and I want to use these up. So I am going to add those right up here, and I may cut them. And then I have these 2 pieces. Again, I'm going to bring in that embossing folder and do a little bit with that. I'm going to take both those pieces, and I want the dark side. This is cardstock. Okay, this is regular cardstock, sorry. So I'm going to do the same thing as I did with the 2-tone, but I'm actually going to do them both at the same time. Now, I'm not going to distress this because there's no white center, but I had those pieces left over, and I try to use up as many pieces as I can. It saves me from cleanup. Now for these, again, just playing with the layout, I have these pieces. I think I'm going to put it here, maybe underneath, just like that. There we go. This is the mothers. My niece is my sister, of course, and my niece, her husband, and his mom. And here's another one of him and his mom. And then I have my sister. And let's see. Then I have this one, which is my sister's 2 children. So, looking at this, I think what I'm going to do now, again, changing it as I go along, there's nothing wrong with that. I am going to use this, and I'm going to glue that down. I'm going to glue it under here. I'm actually going to cut this in half. Doesn't have to be exact, because otherwise I won't see all that. I'm going to add this piece right here. Just overlay that. And then I'm going to take the pictures and add those right here. I have this extra piece. That's why I cut it off, because now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add that right in there. So I have a little bit of flowers there. I also have from that kit these strips. These are the die cuts, and I have these strips. I'm actually going to use one of those, and I'm going to layer that. Not quite all the way. Let's just fix that. Oh, well, now that I put it on there, I guess I can't. That's okay. It's all a process. Let's go ahead and put some of these pictures down. And then this one. I'm going to add that. Don't worry about that white spot. We're going to fill that in. I'm going to put this one right there. I'm going to tuck that piece right in there. And then this one. Now on this side, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. These already laid down. I'm going to add that piece right there. I need to change my Stampin' Seal. I could switch to my liquid glue, but my first thing my go-to is my Stampin' Seal. There's different adhesives for different things, smaller, intricate pieces. You can use your liquid glue or your adhesive sheets. So I'm just going to pop a new one in here. Move that out of the way. And I'm going to add that right up here. Down a little bit further, just eyeballing it. If you're a scrapbooker or a card maker and you need everything, you know, even on each side, definitely measure it. I don't. I'm going to slide that right under here like I did the other one. And then I have this little piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some more pictures. And this, of course, is my sister, me, and my mom. Me and my mom. And my cousin and my aunt. And me and my mom. And there's my cousin and my aunt again. And then I have this one of Stephen and Julie and my mom. So what I want to do is see if I can fit those all on here. I think I can. Just like that. You'll see what I'm going to do with this in a second. So this one is going to go right here. This one, bring out. Right there. This one. I will bring down here. And then another little piece I'm going to add right here. And then we have these two. This one I'm going to add right about here. And this one's going to fit right there. You don't have to have the picture straight. Pictures can go this way, that way. This one is going to go right here. Okay, now the reason I did it this way was because I'm going to bring in that stamp set that I told you about. And that's the Memories in Bloom. And the stamp that says Mothers Are a Blessing. So the reason I did the page this way is because there's moms on each page. I'm going to bring in my Petunia Pop. I'm going to ink that up. Grab a piece of white. Don't stamp on top of my project. I'm going to stamp Mothers Are a Blessing. Grab my paper snips. And I'm just going to fussy cut that. Just fussy cutting around there. And that's going to go right here. Again, I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. And that white part right there, I want something there. So let's see what we have left here. We have another strip, and I think it would be perfect there. So it kind of hides that plain white, and it kind of flows nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. See how you can change it as you're doing it? Nothing's carved in stone. I'm going to hide that. Get that right under there. So let's start it here. And then just add it right there. I'm going to bring in some of those die cuts and stickers now. And I'm just looking at the sentiments. Mothers are a blessing. I'm going to add the love you more here. I have some of those flowers. This is the sticker. I'm going to add that right in the center here. I got that little spot, and I'm just going to go ahead and add a little flower right there, so now you don't see that. And then I'm going to take on this side, now these are the die cuts. I'm going to, I think, take this one. This is rather large, so I want that. And I can add that one right here. And that one I'll do with my dimensionals. And you can also see that if you follow these instructions, it tells you what projects each one's used for. But I'm not doing it exactly like that. I'm making it my own. Again, I see that I kind of have a little bit hanging off here, so I'll just trim that off. No worries there. Scrapbooking should be about fun, putting your projects together, not stress. So now I have those two. Let me bring in the other two pages because I want to add a little bit more to it. Now, I have, next week I'll be doing probably the remaining part of it. There's some journaling right there I can do. And let's hope I can do this without messing it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close up this ink first. And then I'm going to do a little journaling. Now, these are our new journaling pens. Whoop. our new journaling pens, which I absolutely love. I'm going to put the date. And I want to mention my father. Okay, celebrating Julie and Stephen. We call him Pop. Okay, celebrating Julie and Stephen. She had Pop with her as she walked down the aisle. So we are going to put that, because this is going to be my first page. And we're going to add that right there. I'm going to do dimensionals on this too, just because I have those popped up. So I'll have this popped up a little bit too. So there, I have my journaling for the first 2 pages and my sentiment on the second 2 pages, which tells you what it's all about. Mothers are a blessing. And let's just add a couple of elements to this page. So we have a couple of flowers here. Add one right there. Just looking at it to see where else I want to add one. Right there. And then celebrate you, which I'm going to add right here. I do have some more elements left. I do have some more stickers left. And that's going to be for next week's pages when I finish off this. Now, if I want to add some gems, I'm going to go and grab the Strawberry Slush and Pretty in Pink gems, because the Pretty in Pink, and there's also some gold. I'm going to add some of these gems to my project. And you can see that this is really when it starts coming together. Grab a little one here. I do use a lot of gems. So there, I have my first 2 pages. And then here are my second 2 pages. And I'm going to just grab a few gems here. I think they bring your eye towards the photos too. And let's see. I'm going to do a couple right here. There we go. And I think for now, that's what I'm going to do with that. I may change and add some more to it next week when I do the finished pages. I hope you enjoyed this week's Scrapbook Sunday 101, and I hope you'll tune in next week for part 3 of Memories in Bloom. And until then, keep on scrapbooking, scrapbookers. Bye.